Hello and welcome. This is Heart Tree Institute, and Kathy and I are here again for a full moon video, October 2025. We're a little on the late side, so everybody who's been waiting, forgive us. But the really nice thing, Kathy and I were just reflecting, is we're making this full moon video on the 6th with that big full moon in the sky, gorgeous harvest moon in the sky. And really up in the Northeast, we're going to see that full moon rise on Tuesday, the 7th. And that's when it's really going to look full to us. So we still have a little window of time. We're always going to feel that full moon a few days before and a few days afterwards anyway. So here we are in this big October 6th, 7th full moon, harvest moon. Harvest moons are called harvest moons when they're the closest full moon to the fall equinox. So that's why it's in October this year. Some years it's in September. But we have this beautiful big moon. So it's a super moon. So it means it's really close to the earth. And that means we got a lot of magnification right now. We got a lot of magnification of what the light is shining on, the light that knows no shadow. So all that shadow stuff might be coming up. You might be feeling really emotional. You might be feeling kind of fiery. You might be feeling kind of edgy. You might be feeling a lot right now because this moon's going to really shine on your system. And we have a full moon in Aries. So we've got a lot of that kind of fire energy. We've got that Aries that, Aries people, wow, man, they can really speak the truth. They can see the truth. They can know the truth. They can speak the truth, but they can speak it really intensely. An Aries person can have a lot of fire. They can have a lot of passion. They can have a lot of directness. In that way, sometimes they can make kind of a mess, actually, because they don't always have the patience to sit and wait and speak, cautiously or carefully or considerately. That Aries energy can have a lot of fire and it can have a lot of passion to it, but it has a lot of truth and it has a lot of authenticity. So we're seeing that September full moon, that September 6th full moon, we really started talking about that authenticity, seeing the authentic self, expressing the authentic self. And this full moon is really going to be like, oh, now you've got the fire. Now you've got the passion. Now you've seen where you're not being authentic. You're seeing where you want to be authentic, and now you're going to take action. So this moon is really about a lot about taking action. It also might be a lot about veils dropping quickly. You might see things really quickly about yourself, about your relationships, where you're putting your time, where you're putting your energy that just aren't working for you. And it's really like some rebelliousness. You might feel a little rebellious, like I'm not doing that anymore and I'm pushing back against that. It might come up with that kind of energy because we also have that sun in Libra, and we have that beautiful Libra energy, which is like this beautiful, balanced, kind, often very easy energy. But then we get into that place where if it's about relationship and it's about long-term relationship, where things can get a little stagnant. And that Libra likes a little codependency. And they're like, we don't really have to change. Let's just watch a movie again. Let's just not go anywhere again. And let's just stay at home. That kind of Libra easy energy can get a little bit boring and a little bit stagnant and a little bit codependent. So you're really going to be seeing where your relationships are not flowing, they're not passionate, they're not fiery, they're not working for you anymore, and you're going to feel rebellious. So we're seeing that all across the planet, and I'm sure everybody's noticed there's some rebelliousness going on all across the planet, and that's it. The veils are dropping, the truth is coming out. People are saying, no, I'm not participating in that anymore. I'm not living that way anymore. I'm not buying into that anymore. So we're seeing it individually, we're seeing it in culture, we're seeing it in global. So you might see a lot more of that kind of rebellion energy all across the globe, really for the rest of the year, but really in October, you might see a lot of that. So for yourself, this is the time where you're acting from passion and authenticity, But remember, you don't want to burn it down. You want to do it with some nice watery energy. You want to bring in that kind of gentle. If you're not sure which way to go, then just pause, take a breath, even a few times a day. Just breathe into the heart, breathe as if your heart is breathing for you. Kind of decompress yourself, raise your frequency, clear your energy field, and move forward from that more balanced place and not that fiery place that can make kind of a mess. So that's going to be something to really pay attention to this month, is taking a few breaths every once in a while throughout the day and settling your energy back down, knowing that your truth will come. If you're spinning a little bit in the wildness of seeing some things, wanting to take action, watch the projection. You might want to get all projecty and really yell at people about how they are. You don't have to do that. Just breathe until you can say it constructively. Take a moment until you can kind of just settle in yourself and use your words well, because that fieriness can kind of make a mess sometimes. Yeah, so we want to be in balance with our authenticity, because and then it's that dream time. Right now is a really good time to start, dreaming up the new reality, dreaming the new earth. Who are you in the new earth? What is the social structure in the new earth? What are our thoughts and wants and needs and desires for how we want to revolutionize our lives? And then, think big too, how you want to revolutionize the culture, the society, the government. Everything starts in imagination. So it can also be a really good time. You're seeing how you want to be authentically, the list of things that you've never done because you were following the social structure, and you're like, screw social structure. I want to live this life. I want to do these things that I really love to do, and I keep not doing to follow social structure. So you really want to think about, oh, how do I bring more of that into my life? What are the steps that I can take? What are the balance steps I can take? What are the projects I want to say yes to? What do I need to shift in my reality? This is about taking action. It's not just about figuring it out. It's about taking action. What are the things, the action steps I can take to say no to some things, to say yes to some things, to reset my calendar, to reset the space in my life for really doing the things that really matter, because they're full of life, they're full of joy, they're full of inspiration, and we're tired of doing the day-to-day and cutting ourselves off from the beautiful creative flow that we are and have.
Amanda,
So
I feel like you're speaking to me.
I know.
What I need to hear right now. I mean,
Yeah,
everything you've said has really resonated and really hit home with me.
yeah,
Fire and passion, we are fire. We are light. The fire is inspiration. It's our spirit, fire. We need fire. We need
yeah.
fire. But when fire gets a little too hot, it needs to be cooled a little bit. And I think that's what's being asked for with the energy of the Libra. It's to balance that fire, but we need the passion, we need the inspiration. I sent a little note to my granddaughter today about the fire and the passion, and maybe it will help you get some of those things on your to-do list you haven't got to yet. And she goes, that's amazing. I did a bunch of things today that I hadn't got to that I wanted to. So it's
Yeah.
not even creating new, but it's paying attention to what you already have that's already kind of on that list. I
Yeah.
have a Moonology deck, and this is the card for this month. This is the moon, the full moon in Aries, and it says cool your emotions. Just cool those emotions, because we can get very hot with
Yeah.
emotions because emotions have a fire and we get attached to the fire of the emotion and then it pulls us into it. And
Yeah.
unless we're still and breathe like you suggested in stillness and balance, then we have clarity and we can act. So it's not one without the other. I always tell people fire needs air to breathe. Without air, fire gets snuffed out. So remember, the fire needs air and needs space. And I think
Mm,
that's what the Libra energy bring to this. I just wanted to comment on that because it's how we breathe in the stillness with the fire that is
mm,
creativity and is action of purpose and intention. So as I do with my cards,
mm.
dealing the cards. The first card I dealt for tonight is the magician. The magician is this is a druid deck. I just spent some time in Ireland. I was doing druid readings for people every day. And so I was using this deck. So this is the magician in this deck. The magician is masculine energy, and he's the manifester. Many cards have an infinity sign over him because with his magic, all things are possible. He has air, earth, water, and fire. The deal with the magician, every one of these cards has light, dark, there's a spectrum on the card. He can manifest with intention because he knows how to use all of the elements. But the magician could be an evil sorcerer too, because if he uses his magic for some intention that could harm others, then it comes back to him. And that's how fire can burn us, because if we send fire to others, it comes back to us. It doesn't get dissolved. It doesn't get transmuted in the energy field. It comes back. So to use your power wisely with intention for the highest possibility and best good. And when we have all of the elements at our disposal, that means that we are attuned with nature. We are attuned with water, with the sea, with the rivers, with the earth, the land, the sun, the air. So it's taking time in nature. That's what's really going to help to ground us at this time when the fire is out. And then the Five of Cups. The five is the number of change. Five is the number of confrontation, conflict, difficulties, but transformative change. This is a five of emotions because it's cups. And this person is looking out at the river, and he's got three spilt cups. There's nothing in the cups, and he's got two full cups behind him. And he's looking forlorn at the river. And so it's like looking about what I have, what's working, what fills me up. And as Amanda described so beautifully, let those things go that don't serve you. And that includes people, places, and things, activities. That includes your thoughts that no longer serve you. And Amanda mentioned that too, is what we perseverate on in our minds that draw this emotion, and the emotion builds with these thoughts. But if we come to stillness and peace, then we can turn around and look at the cups that are already full. And everything Amanda was saying about union and codependence, which is not healthy, versus building to interdependence, where we support each other to grow and expand. That's the ultimate in relationship. And look at the final card.
Yeah.
I was,
Perfect.
I was
Perfect.
like, oh, once again, tarot does not disappoint. Look at this when we work together. This is
Yeah.
not a codependent relationship. This is
Mhm.
I see you, you see me. Their eyes are looking at each other. They're toasting each other, which is a sign of honor and respect. I honor who you are. I
Yeah.
respect who you are. So this is how we work with this energy. We use the fire to go within, find what it is that is truly personal and important to us, and then we share it with those we love. You know, we
Yeah.
can't share all of ourselves with everyone, but we find those where we can share this. And I love this as the final card
I
because
do too.
that's the Libra energy,
It is. Yeah. Yep.
calming the emotions. So I hope that's helpful for all of you out there. We have
Mm.
classes coming up on psychic development and
Mhm.
soul
Mhm.
journey in October. You will see
Yeah.
below on the newsletter, they'll be available. And if you're just
Yep.
tuning into the YouTube, you can subscribe below and you can get all that information from our newsletter. So any last words, Amanda?
I
Anything?
just really appreciate that because one of the things I forgot to mention was like what we're really thinking about is what the way we want community, the way we want to gather, that when we step into our authenticity, how do we share it? And it just showed up in the cards. That was when I was thinking about this today, that was part of it. And I just kind of like dropped that. But bam, there it was. And
Thank
such a
you.
beautiful image too. So
So,
perfect.
so fun to do.
Yeah. So go get in the moonlight, put your
Get in
cup
the
of
moonlight.
water in the moonlight,
And
put your crystals
Tuesday
in the
morning
moonlight.
today, that's the day of communication and action. So we've also got
Uh-huh.
Tuesday on our side, just to say. Take advantage of all the goodness around us. Right. Right.
Awesome. All right, everybody. Take care and bye-bye.
Bye-bye.